From being able to drop your pickaxe to references to old Fortnite seasons and even landmarks that foreshadow upcoming collabs, Season 2 is full of secret details. So without further ado, here's every new Easter egg in Fortnite Lawless. And when you hop in, make sure to hold on tight to your pickaxe. That's because there's a brand new glitch, which makes it so when using the new Jarbuster axe, if you enable the hold the swap setting, you can now drop your pickaxe. And doing so leaves you in shambles for the entire game. But also, by jumping in the new season, one thing everyone's seen by now is a secret at Outlaw Oasis. There, you'll find this hot tub that allows only 3 people in it at the same time. It'll typically heal you when you're in it, but if a 4th person jumps in the tub, it'll begin heating up and almost instantly launch the 4 of you into the air, and yes, you do take fall damage. But there is something new on the island that's missing, which is a teaser to a brand new skin. By exploring the new areas on the map, you'll sometimes come across a new missing poster, similar to the ones when Peely went missing back in Chapter 5 Season 1. This time though, it teases a brand new skin, a sheep, similar to the goat skin that we saw as a part of the Goat Simulator 3 collab. So you can expect it to arrive anytime soon. What could also be arriving soon is a collab no one saw coming, because last season we got dialogues from the Empress Mizuki NPC hinting at a dragon warrior. And many of you already know what I'm talking about, a Kung Fu Panda collab. Well, this season Epic went all out and added an even more direct reference to the iconic movie. If you visit the top one of the mountains in the new biome, you can find a cherry blossom tree and a turtle statue, obviously referencing the iconic Master Oogway scene, so it's becoming more and more clear that a collab could actually be happening. Something that might have caught your attention though is a reference to one of the most iconic video games of all time. In Crime City, you can find a new advertisement for 2 plumbers that supposedly help clean up your crimes easy. However, their designs are awfully similar to those of Mario and Luigi from Super Mario Bros, making this one of the very rare occasions where a Nintendo game has been referenced in Fortnite. And we can only hope that this means an actual collab could happen one day in the future. Speaking of iconic game references, dedicated Epic Games fans will be delighted to notice this Easter egg found in Crime City. In the new arcade shop, there's many different arcade machines that reference popular Epic Games titles like Jazz Jackrabbit, Paragon, and even a Save the World mock-up titled as an Epic Classic. And yeah, that one feels bad as Epic could have directly mentioned Save the World, so this might hurt some fans, but it definitely looks like an official hope for the revival of the mode might be gone. But something else heating up is a brand new beef between 2 characters on the island, referencing an Easter egg from 3 years ago. Everyone knows the up-and-coming artist Big Dill, who's arrived on the island this season, but it looks like he has a new and unexpected opponent. If you talk to his NPC as Lil Whip, he'll criticize your rap flow, a callback to Fortnite Vibin' when Lil Whip tried to become a musician and create a rap EP by borrowing a lot of bars from the Underwriter. And then he all of a sudden vanished, which is a neat callback. Just wait until you see this reference though, because Fortnite yet again has added an Easter egg to not one but 2 very iconic movie scenes. You may recall back in Fortnite Wilds when we got an emote that directly referenced the infamous Leonardo DiCaprio scene from the movie The Great Gatsby. And now if you take a close look at some paintings in the new Lone Wolf layer, you can see that 2 of Fletcher Kane's paintings are yet again referencing the scene. And there's also another one from the movie Django, which is really cool to see. What definitely isn't cool though is Fortnite's most recent changing gameplay, charging for almost anything in the game with bars. In a season like this, greed has definitely increased around the island, and you can actually see that by attempting to use a porta potty, because it now requires spending gold in order to do so. I mean, it's only fair with so much gold around the map that you have to use it somewhere. And speaking of all that gold, when exploring different corners of Crime City, you might come across an interesting sign. Trying to catch your attention is a big one that reads free gold. So naturally, many players suspected it could be a trap, but nothing happens when you follow it. So many think this was a missed opportunity by Epic to add a spot that instantly eliminates you. What Epic didn't miss though was an opportunity to reference another chapter. I'm sure Chapter 4 Season 4 fans know what I'm talking about, and it's a reference to the last heist season that we experienced. In Fortnite Last Resort, found all around Kato Thorne's different mansions were small Eclipse themed props, and would you look at that, in the newest heist theme season, these have returned in all kinds of different places. The references don't end there though, as arguably the season's highlight are the hidden Easter eggs related to Sub-Zero. Dedicated Mortal Kombat fans will surely notice this one found within an emote in the current battle pass. At first, this one might look like a regular emote until you realize that it's actually taken directly from Mortal Kombat 1. And it gets even better because there's another secret with this specific emote. In Mortal Kombat 1, you can see that the ice cream fridge has a little scorpion figure on it, devastated by the loss of his ice cream. But now, if you look at the emote in Fortnite, you won't help but notice that he actually now has his ice cream back, which is pretty heartwarming. And not nearly as warm though are Sub-Zero's gauntlets that grant you an advantage if you know how to use these correctly. There's a neat detail where you can actually use them to run on water, as it freezes whenever you take a step, similar to Nitro from Chapter 5 Season 3, so you gotta give it to Epic for adding such attention to detail. And their attention to detail continues with some rather interesting paintings found in the new season. Let me explain, because in an office in Crime City, you can find some new works of art that showcase a very disturbing image of a llama, a little bit bigger than it usually is, and there's even some interesting sketches of Peely without his skin. Yeah, I have no idea what Epic was thinking with these. However, we know exactly what Fortnite was thinking with a different reference because it continues one from last season. While wandering around the cherry blossoms of the Chapter 6 map, you surely must have come across a toilet just standing there in the middle of nowhere, which is actually a nod to one of the episodes of Rick and Morty. Well, this season Epic took this reference another step further and even added a new TV next to it so its users can not only enjoy the view but also watch some good old-fashioned television. Something else very fashionable though is this season you may have a chance to make the best combo thanks to a battle pass reference. If you take a look at Fletcher Kane's Wolf Glider, you may notice that it's really similar to actually an old skin from the Fortnite crew, which was the Burning Wolf. The two almost look identical, so if you pair them together you'll definitely be landing on the map in style. And speaking of styles, we already have an early look at a secret style for the new Midas skin in the battle pass, which is also a reference to a Marvel character. Let me explain. There's currently a loading screen that shows Outlaw Midas in what seems to be his second style, a full-on cowboy outfit. But fans of Marvel have also noticed something very strange. In this loading screen, he looks a lot more like the actor Tom Hiddleston, the actor of Loki in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's led many to wonder whether it was actually intentional or not. But another secret reveals how the original Outlaw Midas was meant to look in the first place. There's this leaked spray which shows the Outlaw Midas skin, but look closely and you'll see that his hair was actually supposed to have gray streaks in it, meaning it's an older Midas, but it's obviously changed, similar to how the original Midas skin changed because he was supposed to have glasses, but that was also changed with the launch of Chapter 2 Season 2 when he first came out, so I guess Epic loves their last minute changes. And what they also love doing is adding incredibly accurate references to the real world, and this one's no exception, sort of. You can tell the Jaw skin is actually a chemist, and on top of her cone hat you can also find a chemical element which is actually slurp. Obviously slurp isn't an actual element in real life, but it's regardless awesome to see how they came up with this. Joss as a character though is inspired by a very old design, one specifically from Fortnite Save the World. That's right, many of the Save the World fans have come to notice that the Joss skin has a lot of different similarities with the hero from Fortnite Alpha, from the cone to the logo in the shirt and also some other little details. This likely means the skin is a tribute to the original characters from the very first days of Fortnite Save the World's development. And another character from Outlaws actually has a hidden name. By now everyone's familiar with the star of this season being none other than the new Big Dill character who just dropped his newest single and even had beef with the rapper T-Pain himself. But a lot of people haven't yet realized that in his loading screen its description reveals that his full name is actually Dillinger. Super random, I know. And then another new character introduced this season is Fletcher Kane, whose mansion is full of secret details that many haven't noticed. The most obvious one is the dog park near his mansion, creating a safe space for everyone on the island to walk their dogs, and this is important as we'll see Kane has a sympathy for them since dogs are the descendant of wolves. And a great example of that is in his mansion itself, where there's a very interesting secret. In the bathroom you'll find this toilet paper dispenser, and just by taking a quick look at its design I don't think I need to explain anything more here. But in another room of that mansion the dog Easter eggs continue. You can find displays of some golden dog toys showcasing Fletcher Kane's nature, and that's further backed up by a hidden award which he holds dear. If you take a closer look over at the mansion you can spot the top dog award on a shelf which either belongs to his dog henchman or himself. It also follows the design of gold V-Buck coins, which is pretty cool to see, but not nearly as cool as his wardrobe, where you'll see he has shirts of all the same color, which isn't nearly as good as his taste in movies, as even he has his own personal home cinema with a giant popcorn bucket, and it's even filled with different movie references. The ones you're going to be able to spot are the Horde Rush 5 and Night Creatures movies, some good old Fortnitemares classics. But the best secret of them all lies in the new mansion's basement. If you recall last season, there's a mysterious statue over at Lost Lake, and initially we thought this all went missing, but you can be surprised to find that it's actually still on the island. Near the vault inside of the basement you can find it being displayed, meaning it's now the most prized possession of Fletcher Kane. And another thing that's happening soon is the excavations over at Shiny Shafts. While many entrances to the mines are currently blocked off by the rubble, excavations will begin soon, making sure that many of these entrances become available, so that's something to look forward to. And at these excavations you can also find another pretty cool Easter egg. If you simply take a look around at all the machines there, you won't help but notice that there's a small robot similar to the ones that are all over the Chapter 6 map playing with one of the excavators. And another robot though doesn't seem to be having nearly as much fun as the one over at the excavation site. This one can be found in one of the new landmarks called Predator Outlook, and it's being eaten by a wolf statue. Knowing Epic, it's probably a mini storyline waiting to be resolved in a future update, so keep your eyes peeled. Something else gone though is a stolen relic over at Masked Meadows. You might remember last season where there was supposedly a very dangerous mask held over at Daigo's mask shop. If you go there now, it's nowhere to be found, leaving many to believe that this could be important in the storyline of the season. And speaking of Daigo, many people wondered what would become of the Spirit Realm portal that was left behind after the event took place. It looks like we actually have an answer for that, as it's no longer working and it seems to have been completely broken with the addition of the new golden biome. Not all is broken though, as in the island some things have been repaired just in time. Last season we saw the intense destruction of the Shining Span PY due to Godzilla's attack, and after the event was over it slowly began to reconstruct. Well, now with season 2 it's back in its former glory.